Hello, hello. I am so sorry, guys. I had a little bit of technical difficulty getting started for some reason. The live pre-schedule that I did wasn't wanting me to go live, so I had to do another one. How are we doing? How are we doing? Where are we coming from today? Hey, Zachary. Hey, Camille. I'm glad that when I switched over links, it got you over too. I'm not sure how that works, but yay for that. Hey guys, so I don't know if you guys know this, so I'm gonna say it. Hey everybody, welcome, welcome. Um, the 16th of April is World Voice Day. I don't know if you knew that. I didn't know it was a thing, but this year I'm friends with a really wonderful, world-renowned ear, nose, and throat doctor named Dr. Michael Johns, and we're friends on Facebook. And so he posted that it's World Voice Day 2019, April 16th. So for you guys, you singers that are on, happy Voice Day early. I won't be seeing you on Voice Day, but I wanted to, thank you. I wanted to let you guys, hola, oh, poor Cubanito lindo, he's sick. Oh, I wanted to read you guys something about World Voice Day. So the theme, and I'm not looking at the comments right now because I'm reading. The theme for World Voice Day this year is be kind with your voice. And vocal practitioners around the world celebrate the marvels of the human voice. And on April 16th, the World Voice Day theme is be kind to your voice. And the physical voice, this is interesting, represents the thoughts and ideas of the speaker. And where there is powerful physical voice, a person is speaking with real purpose and passion. On the other hand, a weak physical voice may represent a person who is lost, uncertain, or apathetic. As the great vocal practitioner Herbert Ciceri said, the voice is the voice of the mind. A powerful voice starts there and does a kind one. So that is completely relevant to my saying that singing is 90% mental, 10% talent. The voice is the voice of the mind. So Webster defines intention, and when we talk about intention being the starting place for important communication, and that's speaking as well as singing. And Webster defines intention as the aim that guides your action. I'm going to say that again. Webster defines intention as the aim that guides your actions in life and singing and anything. And as such, it's the why of communication. So why bother talking if you don't have an intention behind what you're saying, right? Studies have shown that intention can be heard and felt by babies as young as 6 months of age. So you parents out there, be careful, little mouths, what you say and why you say it, which is why intention is so powerful in communication. So as an unspoken intention, it can be used and understood and perceived by others as strongly as spoken intention. So what you don't say and just your body language intention can often speak way louder than actual words, right? We've said that before, actions speak louder than words. Your intention behind those actions is what makes it meaningful. But the voice, as the representative of your mind, reveals your true intention or what you have in mind at a deep, honest level, which means it's almost impossible to expect your voice to sound genuinely kind if you don't feel that way, if you don't feel kind. Being kind with your voice, therefore, starts with the intention to be kind to others. Kindness with your voice requires kindness in your mind. That's the truth bomb that's dropped on you guys today. So it's National and World Voice Day, April 16th, and the theme this year is be kind with your voice. So how are we going to use our voices today to be kind to the world, to add goodness, love, and joy in the lives of other people? Don't be disingenuous. You cannot be kind with your voice if you're not kind in your mind first. Singing is, after all, 90% mental, 10% talent. You guys should know that by now. Okay, so let's get down to it, guys. We have, oh, Camille, thank you. she's the don't ask for reactions police on the chat. Yeah, guys, I can't listen to your reaction requests here. The chat just goes too fast and it just comes too quickly. So please post reaction requests on the YouTube comments in any of the videos. It doesn't matter which one, just pick any old one and ask for a reaction there. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Okay, so guys, there's something else. I have a bit of an announcement to make. I am doing my very first Sing Smarter Not Harder live webinar tonight. It's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have put the Zoom link in the description box of this live Q&A. It's the first thing. So if you see the Zoom link, save that. If you are if you're around, or if you want to wake up, if you're on the other side of the world and you want to wake up for it, it's going to be awesome. And if you've had questions about what I speak about in voice lessons, private lessons, what goes on in the 8-week course, how you can make your voice better, and if you would be a good candidate for joining up in the 8-week course, that webinar tonight is for you. There's actually quite a few people that are on it already, and space is limited for it. So if you, and I put the Zoom link in for you guys because you guys are kind of like my core group on YouTube, and I wanted to make sure that you were invited to it. But I am, the emails that are being sent out, I am capping it because I want to be able to answer people's questions. And if there's too many people, I don't want it to get overwhelming and not get to people's questions. So it's going to be amazing tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be the webinar for Sing Smarter Not Harder, the 8-week course. And I'm going to talk about all things vocal in that as well. So if you want to get a double dose live of me today, or if you're in a different time zone, maybe late at night and then first thing when you wake up in the morning, awesome. I'll be around in 9 hours. We're going to do another one. Awesome. The webinar is free. Patrick, you guys are asking how much is the webinar? There's no charge for the webinar. There's no charge for the Q&A on YouTube either, obviously. So it's all free. And you can just literally click on the Zoom link, like copy and paste it in the description box that you see. Like if it's I think it's the same as any of my videos, right? So if you click on the description box within this video, the Q&A video, you'll see live webinar at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Tara, and that's the Zoom link, okay? And if you miss it and you want to watch the replay of it, you can do that as well. Let me know. You can email us at the studio and we'll send it to you. You can also click on the link for the free workshop that's also in the description box below. Put your email in for that, and we can also send you the replay that way as well. Okay, cool. Yay, Michael, thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see. Lucy, that's a good question. Should you still practice when sick or ill? Is it better to completely give your throat a rest, or anything that you can do in the meantime? Okay, so it depends on the level of sickness, first of all. If it's just, allergies or a cold or something like that, I make my singers come in for voice lessons, because here's the deal. I train a lot of working professionals, a lot of celebrity clients, people who have deadlines and pressure on them to produce, to perform, and to do it on call. And so that doesn't stop. That expectation doesn't quit if you're sick. Now there's a certain level to that, right? Where like, hey, I'm literally horizontal today. I cannot be vertical. I'm sick. I'm throwing up. I completely have no sound in my voice, whatever. That's different. But if you are functionally sick, like you've got a bit of a sore throat, it's not too much inflammation, you've got a cough, you've got postnasal drip that's annoying, you've got a dry cough, you've got allergy symptoms, itchy, runny nose, eyes, all that stuff. You can sing through that. Now, I wouldn't say to go to the lengths that you would go if you were 100% well, but you should be able to rely on your technique in times of moderate sickness to be able to push through that. What happens when you have the audition of your life coming up and you just so happen to get sick? Do you just not go because you're sick? No, go for it. Try, the worst that can happen is no, which would have happened if you would have stayed home anyway. That's how I see it, right? So there are definitely in my lessons, I teach students certain vocal therapeutic exercises to warm up in a more carefully and healthy way. But you don't have to like go completely for it. But you still can sing for sure. Okay. Kopet Kilik, greetings from Indonesia. Hi, Indonesia. Do singers still feel tension when they're performing on stage professionally? Well, I can only speak for myself. And I would say it depends on what I'm about to sing, more so than what stage I'm on. I've sang for tens of thousands of people all over the world. And I think my biggest audience was around 12,000 in a stadium. And well, maybe a little more, but around 12 to 15,000. And that was the most fun one for me. Where I get the most like about is if it's like, I don't know, 15, 10, 15 people, like in an intimate environment. I don't know, for some reason that creeps me out more, but it's different. It's different for everybody. So I can't say, all I can say is what it is for me. Camille, do you teach concepts you don't fully understand yourself? Well, I would have to ask like what? Okay, what do you visualize to sing in your mask? Ronaldo. When I visualize singing my mask, I like to think of those masks that people wear for masquerade balls. I have one actually, and I love it. But like, that's where that mask place right here, that's exactly where you should feel your sound. And that's what I envision when I go to sing for mask. Let's see. Faith, how can I extend my vocal range effectively? I really want to be able to belt amazingly without much effort. Faith, take lessons. Faith, get into the 8-week course. Faith, there's like many, many, many modules in the course that go completely dedicated towards belting and range expansion. Click on the link in the description box for the 8-week course and or an Insta-Reaction for us to assess your voice, which is basically what you see me do on YouTube all the time with celebrity performances. We do that for you guys via Insta-Reactions.com, or get a single private session or get into lessons. You have to study. Yay, Emma, I signed up for the webinar and I'm really excited to learn more. Whoop, whoop, woo, that's awesome. Yes, it's the same. It's going to be the same concept as the live Q&A, only instead of answering random questions about singing, I'm going to be directing the questions based on the course. So there's going to, anybody that has anything course related question-wise, I'm going to be answering those things. What's in the course? How does it work? Do I have it for life? What can I expect to improve on? How long does it take me to improve? How much practice do I need to do? How long are the modules, et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to be a lot of questions and answers about the course, because a lot of you guys have been asking, emailing, and Instagramming me questions on the course, as well as people outside of YouTube wanting to know as well. So I figured I'll just do a webinar on it. Let's see, what else? Thank you, Hero, for fun. That's so nice. Can singing with phlegm be bad? I mean, it's not. Phlegm is mucus, right? So if it's infection, then yeah, because where there's infection, there's inflammation, okay? And that's never great. However, if you are singing with a little bit of mucus that's just extra kind of lubrication on your voice, I would say be careful, but it's not necessarily bad. I would venture to say it's more dangerous to sing with a dryness in your throat than it is more of a phlegminess. Okay. Exercises to improve my head voice. I'm an alto. Chanel Tan, I would recommend anything hooty, but to give you clear examples for your voice specifically, I would need to hear you. So I would need to either hear you in an Insta-Reaction, in a private lesson, or in the course. So click on those links below in the description box for that. Mitchell, what's the difference between chest and head voice? Mitchell, really? Are you new here? The difference between chest and head voice is really based on the name that we call them. So chest voice is all here. It's based on where we feel the resonance when we're speaking. It's in our chest. And when we sing, I'm using my chest voice because it's the same place where I'm feeling my resonance come from when I'm speaking. Same place. But when I use my head voice, that's up here. That and the higher I go, the more resonance I feel in my mask if you're doing it right. So the head voice is felt in the head, resonance felt in the head, chest voice, resonance felt in your chest. And there should be a clear difference between the two, by the way. You're welcome. Can you belt and head voice? No, you can't. Belt is synonymous with chest voice. You can have a power head voice, you can have a very strong head voice, but belting does not occur unless you are in your chest voice. Is long, at least. Now, belt is the slang word, by the way. It's not really like a laryngology phrase. It's not a vocal pedagogy phrase. It's just, it's like layman's terms, right? So you can maybe say you're belting in your head voice, but really what people mean when they say belt is I'm a big belt chest singer. That's what you expect to hear. If I said to you, I'm a belter, you'd be like, no, you're not a belter. You have a really good head voice, right? So know the difference. Let's see. What else? Is whistle tone just an intense head voice? No, not really. Whistle tone is an extension. It's a high extension of your head voice. So it's basically another register. Okay. It's like, yeah, it's an extension. That's the best word I can use. It feels different too. Like where it's placed is not that intense resonating place in your mask. It's a little bit more up in your head. The best way I can describe it. Let's see. Please, please answer George Imperial's question. How would I improve my high notes as solid and pure chest as my voice is in middle range? Okay, so if you're saying your voice is airy when it goes higher, George, it could be a couple different things. And I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to hear you. I'm sorry. Would I improve my high notes as solid pure chest as my voice? Yeah, I don't understand your question. If you have a middle range voice and you're trying to improve your high notes, that's simply range expansion. That's time and pressure. That's you needing to be in lessons for accountability. Us needing to hear you, my coaches, or me needing to hear you. So I can't answer that on chat. I'm sorry. Click on those links in the description box. Let's see. What do I think about So Young? She's amazing. She's so good. Love her. What else? Any advice for improved singing after having tonsils removed? James. Think of it as like, I've had, now the tonsils don't have anything to do with the vocal cords. They're not part of it, right? They're near it. They're in the region, but they're not part of it. So, but it is near it. And so what I would suggest is treating it as if you are in physical therapy after like say a leg surgery or a minor surgery for something else. You wouldn't just go running, right? You would take it easy. You would do PT. You would slowly build back up to where you were. So sorry, this happens every time. I always forget to turn it on vibrate. And it's always a spam call. When you have a surgery, there's going to be inflammation, and you got to be careful about inflammation, guys. When you're singing. Good morning. So I would say just slow and steady wins the race. Don't try to like rock the world right away. And it would be great if you feel that you are struggling and getting back to where you were. You may need to do a little bit of speech therapy, and you definitely should be in lessons to learn the proper technique of singing correctly in the first place. Let's see. Whatever. Is there any way to make your lower range more resonant? I'm not sure if it has to do with placement or something else. Aaron, it could and probably is placement. When you want to, good eye from Australia, when you want to improve resonance, we're not confusing that with range now, okay? Because improving range is different than improving resonance. Improving resonance is the quality of the note that you're singing. Range is actually getting a note to come out of your mouth and phonate, okay? So there's a difference. We're assuming by saying improving the quality of your resonance that you already have the note as a singable note. If you don't have the note as a singable note, that's a whole other can of worms, and resonance discussion is out the window because we have to work on getting the note first. So it may be that you're trying to get a note that's lower in your voice than really where it should be. It may be beyond the scope of what your voice is capable of hitting. But if it's not, and we're assuming that you have the note, right? Then the way to improve it is thinking opposition. So if I'm going down, for instance, if I'm going la 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 la, if you feel that's kind of struggling at the bottom, but I'm also giving in to the depth of the note too. I'm also kind of coming down like this, la 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 la, and my throat is expanding. I'm kind of like, it's getting darker and deeper. You're welcome, George Imperial. But if I think as I'm going down, up, 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 highlight bright, instead of low, deep, thick as I'm going down, well then I'm able to change my resonance. Listen, la, 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 la. It sounds much more forward, much more open, and the note and the tone is solid. It doesn't like bottom out like that. So I would recommend thinking opposition, and the same goes for you guys that are trying to do the same thing higher. When you go higher, then you think low, deep, thick. It's opposition. So if it's summer and it's hot outside, you turn the air on. Human nature makes sense, right? If it's winter, you turn on the heat. Same thing. Your voice likes opposition too. Okay. So when you're going low, highlight bright. When you're going up, low, deep, thick. Yes? Great. Awesome. Does weather affect your singing? Sure. It does for me. I know for sure. Like especially if it's like not a sunny, I'm from Florida, so the sun definitely affects my mood and my voice and everything. So yes, if it's sunny out and it's a beautiful day, my voice can be awesome. If it's gloomy and dreary and cold and especially if you're fighting, going back and forth between different temperatures, yes, that can definitely mess with your voice. So stay hydrated, stay warmed up always. Always, if it's cold, always wrap your head and your neck with a scarf and a hat for sure. Let's see. Emma, you always remind us, your virtual students, about support in your abs. However, when I try to engage more with my abs, I feel like I can't make good sound because it's too tight. Is that normal? Well, okay, so you are probably doing it wrong. The best, most foolproof way, I would say, of using your abs and trying to do it alone, which by the way, that's somewhat of an intermediate concept. So you guys that are on here, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna preach for a second. You guys that are on here, you're getting valuable information from someone who knows what they're talking about, right? Or at least you believe I know what I'm talking about. And I definitely believe I know what I'm talking about. So you're on here because you think that you're going to get valuable information from me to make you better. And you are, right? But the thing is, I'm giving you this information and then you're going and you're trying to execute it on your own. That's not the way permanently that it's intended to be. You would never get to the Olympics and get to that level of excellence without a coach behind you. And I'm not saying it has to be me, but if you're seriously looking to get better, if you're at home struggling, if you're trying to get better at singing and you're taking what I say and you're trying to execute it and you're finding that things aren't working or that you've stalled out on your progress, that's because you're trying to do it alone. You have to invest in your voice. It can be through a course. It can be through lessons. It can be through Insta-Reactions or through someone else's services, but you can't do it alone. You really can't. This is not a tangible art form. I liken it a lot to fitness because I believe that the voice is a vocally athletic thing, but it's still not even as tangible as fitness. In fitness, you can at least feel really easily the full body movement. You can, but even in fitness, people have personal trainers. Like the ones that are the most fit, they're either trainers themselves or they train and they have accountability with someone. So please, please, please don't damage your voice by trying and failing alone, even with good advice from someone like me or someone else who knows what they're talking about. The room for error is still so great on your end because you're trying it by yourself without someone listening to you who knows what they're talking about in real time and saying, oh, okay. Like for instance, Emma, it's really tight because you're actually over contracting your abs at this point, or you're actually inconsistently contracting your abs. Let me fix it. Let me do this. Try this. And then when I give you that thing to do, then you can actually see and feel the difference. And I can see and hear the difference. And if that's the best option for you or not. So I hate to preach, guys, but you guys that have been on here and on these lives for a while, we're going to keep doing them for sure, but I want you to know that you're only going to get so good by hearing information and trying it at home before you get frustrated and you're going to be like, oh, and you're going to stop. You're going to either stop listening or, stop improving, or you're going to decide, hey, I'm going to actually decide that I'm worth it. I'm going to invest in myself and I'm going to then take the next step and you're going to see results. You will 100%. There's no way you can't. If you've been improving even a little bit on your own, then imagine what you're going to do with someone like me or someone who's trained and knows what they're talking about that can help you, that's dedicated to helping you. Hey, shout out from the Philippines. Whoop, whoop. A lot of Filipino people here. This is your first Q&A live stream on singing. Hey, Storm Devil. Awesome. Good to see you. Welcome. How does posture affect your vocals? Huge. In fact, it's funny that you said that. Atharva Nigam, because the very first module in my 8-week course teaches you how to stand as a singer. Boom. And actually, it's something that I almost didn't even put in the course because I thought, thank you, Devon, is this like patronizing them? Do they know people know how to stand right? No. That's one of the most favorite modules of people in my course is the first one on how to stand, because I guess it's assumed that since we all walk upright in this world, most of us, that like you know how to stand when you sing, but actually people don't. And it's the very foundation and basis for so many things. Good posture, which equals less likeliness of strain. Great ab support, which is one of the pillars for singing, support and space, right? A better breath, more stamina, higher notes. So many things that are snowball effects of just literally knowing how to stand right. So yes, it completely affects it. Let's see. I think better high notes in mornings. Tara, I sing better high notes in mornings than midday. Why? It's okay. So Dimash Untrained, you could be speaking improperly. You may need voice therapy. If you find anybody, by the way, if you find that in the morning you're a great singer, and then as you oh, hey Con, hold on. Hey Con, I'm currently signed up for the course. He says $500 is almost 21-hour private lessons here, but I'm sure it will be worth it. I've almost saved it to you. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, my rate is literally for a private lesson, it's almost the price of the course. So it's a huge deal. Huge deal. Okay, going back to what I was saying before, if your voice is more tired at the end or midway through the day than it is at the beginning, you are most likely speaking incorrectly, okay? Yes, Willis, I'm doing a Q&A later. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's all about my 8-week course. It's a live webinar for that. And for anybody that's recently joined, the live webinar tonight is, yes, it's about my 8-week course called Sing Smarter Not Harder. And that link to join up it's the Zoom link, and it's in the description box below. So yes, you may need to do speech therapy if you are more tired singing like midday to end than you are in the morning. It's probably the speaking, how you speak is probably the catalyst to that. Hey, Alaska. Hey, Guam. Wow. Jeff, I have difficulty switching between registers. There's always a hearable break. How do I smoothen that? Ooh, Jeff, that is a tough one. There are lots of ways and how to smooth that, but there is no way that I can explain it in a live Q&A. You definitely need lessons for that. And that's not something that's a one lesson fix, by the way. That's something that takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication. Some people's breaks are more pronounced and prevalent than others. Some people have a natural smoothness. See you tonight, Willis. Awesome. But I would recommend that you at least do an Insta-Reaction assessment so that we can hear and know how drastic yours is and give you a better idea of A, what to do if you want to try on your own to fix it, and B, how long it may take, okay? Yes. I'm so glad, Con. I'm so glad that you're looking forward to improving and that you've been taking part lessons. That's awesome. A good throat warming drink, Tatboy 2000, throat coat. Buy it, get it, drink it, love it. It's amazing. One of the active ingredients and properties in there is slippery elm, and it's a really great and very just, it feels lovely. It's just a really great layer of protection. And let's just clear the air here and say though that like the larynx, when you swallow something, it's not meant to stick on your cords. That's why I think throat coat's great, because the property of slippery elm is like a film coating. And so even though when you swallow the liquid goes down and it's no more in your throat, obviously, otherwise you'd be freaking drowning. There are properties of that slippery elm that remains. And so it creates this sort of lubrication between your vocal folds as they rub together. So throat coat's really, really great. I love that. How far can you carry chest voice before it's too much? Abbas Kassam, that's different for everybody. And so I couldn't say, because your break between chest and mix is totally different than mine, is totally different than someone else's. So that's an individual answer. However, I can say stereotypically speaking, in my experience, for women, I would say anywhere between C and F I think it's a 4, C4, F4, and anywhere for guys between, I'd say, A3 and C4, something like that. What does strain sound like? It sounds different for everybody. It's not cute though, and it doesn't feel great either. Amazing! Cubanito lindo. What are you doing? Do you use resonance tube? I have no idea what that is, Tobias. So I guess I don't. Let's see. When you sing, how would you give emotion to add story? So we do a lot of character analysis at TSS, and a lot of it is it's deciding who you are in the song, why you're singing it, and who you're singing it to. When you've made those decisions, it's a lot easier to add authentic emotion to a song because then you know your why. It goes back to intention, right? What's your intention of singing the song? I would be freaking drowning. That's funny. Any advice for male singers? Well, like what? Like in context of what? Be an awesome male singer. Oh, good, Moshi. How does one sing falsetto with a lot less or no breathiness? So if you're singing in falsetto and you have a lot of breathiness, most likely you are either doing one of two things. You have too much space. So for instance, if I'm singing, you can hear all the breath, right? But in that instance, I wasn't supporting with my abs. I can still sing in awe, and if it's relatively high in my voice, I can engage my abs and get pure tone. For instance, I'm going to have relaxed abs first, and then I'm going to tighten them. Do you hear where it goes? So I'm going to engage with my abs, but when I engage with my abs, I'm going to squeeze my hands so you can tell when I'm doing it. So my fist is closed. I'm tensing my abs. So you can see when you're using your abs properly, this goes back to Emma's question, I am tightening, but not to a fault, not to my detriment of the sound, right? Now, if it's not a very high note in my head voice, it's more of a mid-range, but if I sing that awe the same way, even if my abs are tight, there's too much space and air is coming out at too rapid of a pace, and so then I'm still going to be breathy. For instance, I'm still squeezing here, but it's still not as pure. So I'm going to close the space a little bit. So instead of you can hear the tone getting more pure and more robust. And that's because I kind of covered with my mouth. I lessened the space. Remember, any extreme note, high or low, needs more space, but I don't need more space if I'm not in an extreme note. In fact, I need less, because if I have too much, it's going to be breathy. Okay. So I hope that helped and gave you some good examples of what to do and not to do. Does obesity affect vocal technique? Asking for a friend. Brian, I mean, there are a lot of amazing overweight singers. I mean, look at Pavarotti. I mean, and I'm not saying she's obese, but look at Adele. Yeah, I mean, I think it might affect your stamina if you're out of shape, because singing is an athletic sport, in my opinion, and the amount of ab engagement and physicality that you need to get notes out I think would definitely affect your stamina, but it's not like you can get fatty vocal folds, So, I don't know. Do I teach singers with disability? L2234. Actually, I don't know if you guys looked back on, if you were part of the first live Q&As we did, but not only do I teach singers with disabilities, one of the reasons I even have a studio is because of a little boy named Peter, and he he had Down syndrome, and he's since passed away, but that little boy is the reason why I even have a studio in the first place, and it's quite a long story, so I'm not going to go into it, but yes. Yes, good choices. Imagine an Adele Pavarotti baby. Wow, that would be amazing. Amazing, snap. Good morning, Charles. Hey. I know. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. I love to sing, but I can't stand to hear the sound of my own voice on a recording. Any idea why? Razy Vids. I'll let you in on a little secret. I hate the sound of my voice on recording too. I do. I don't like it. There's always something that bugs me about it. I'm just like, oh, I could have done that better. Oh, why did I sounded better in my headphones? What's up? So I think it's just the inner lie, like the inner down talk, the inner self talk, like getting to us. So I'm gonna say to you what I say to myself, like, hey, if other people like to hear it, and if you're being told it's good, then let go of the bad self-talk and just let it be what it is. Danielle Sales, is vocal fry good for warming up? Sure, but not too much of it. Make sure that you're not just doing vocal fry. Let's see. Should the palate of your mouth feel weird when belting? No, not really. Don't know why it would. Kelsey Golden, do you have any vocal exercises to strengthen the vocal tract and learn/improve technique? Yes, tons of them. But you're going to get them if you're in lessons with me or one of my coaches or in the 8-week course. So click on those links in the description box, Kelsey, and check it out. You're going to love it. How can I relieve jaw tension? All right. This is a really ugly thing for me to do, Patrick, but I'm going to do it because I love you guys. This is a really great way to relieve jaw tension, and I'm about to look like a crazy person, okay? It is so silly. So silly. You're welcome, Raisy Vids. I hate that I hate that you asked this question. All right, so to relieve jaw tension, which is difficult, right? And you may not be able to do this. I'm so embarrassed that I'm doing this right now. I really love you guys. So to relieve jaw tension, this is one of the easiest ways, okay? If you can do this, then you don't have jaw tension while you're doing it. If you're unable to, then you still have jaw tension. So it's like a fail-safe way of knowing, all right? Take your hands, clasp them together like this. This is so embarrassing. Okay, and then what I want you to do is, it's okay, Patrick. What I want you to do is look at your hands, and you're gonna shake your hands really, really hard, okay? You're gonna start with a jaw that's open like this, just like that, no closed, just right here. And you guys do it with me, okay? And you're gonna go like this. All right, it's all for the betterment of the voice, right? Here we go, you're gonna go. You can't smile, by the way, when you're doing it. Otherwise, otherwise it's not going to work because your jaw's technically tense here when you're smiling. So no smiling. Here we go. Serious vocal coach moment here. You're going to like this. If you're doing this and nothing's moving, your jaw is tense. You have to relax your jaw. So your teeth should kind of chatter, like you should feel your teeth chattering. Don't break your teeth, guys, okay? Like this shouldn't be hurting yourself, but it is. I know, laugh at me, make fun all you want, but it works, I swear. So if you can do that, if you can do that exercise, then you can relieve jaw tension. So if in the middle of the song you feel like your jaw is tense, just stop for a second, do that real quick. And then, oh, you remember I did that on X Factor? Yeah, those jerks showed me doing that. Ugh. Anyway, there's your answer to that question. And I think with that embarrassing moment, I think I'm gonna call it quits for today, guys. So listen, if you are interested in more of Q&A today, hop on the webinar tonight. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is Florida time in the US, okay? And the Zoom link for that, all you need to do is click on it. You can download the Zoom app on your phone. If you have it on your computer, that's fine too. And you guys will be just one step ahead of the game. You'll be your second Q&A in for the day. Wow, holy information. Batman. So it's probably going to be around a half hour long, not quite as long as these Q&As, because I'm really strictly dedicating the questions towards answering whatever you guys have related to the course. Okay. So like this kind of how-to stuff, that's not what it's going to be. It's going to be like questions about logistics of the course, how you're going to get better, why the course is great. I'm going to also read some testimonials and extrapolate in more detail than I feel like I can on the YouTube Q&As about the course itself and really what we do, like what the methodology called Sing Smarter Not Harder is designed to do for your voice, and that's basically what Terra Simon Studios is built on. So if you want to join that, I would love to see you there. Click on the Zoom link below. If you want to get an Insta reaction and have me react to you, click on Insta-Reactions.com. That's everything I'm saying, guys, is in the description box of this video. So private lessons link is on there, as well as the 8-week course. If you know you want to get into it already, then jump on that bandwagon. And I will see you guys tonight, hopefully, okay? Love you, proud of you, bye!